Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Prashasti Arora and I'm back with the important editorials and news articles for today. I hope you're enjoying the sessions. Do let me know in the comment section. अगर आपको कोई भी problem है session से, let me know how I can improve the sessions and how I can make it more interactive. Before we start, I'd like to take you through this slide. Abhishek Saraf, who has secured All India rank 8 in UPSC CSE 2019, has we have free special classes for him. So please go check that out. It will really be useful, right? Now, today we have very interesting articles ranging from disaster management to a lot of polity to some economy to some society. So yes, let's go through them one by one and try and understand what is relevant in the context of the exam. So the first article that we will be discussing today is that 16 people have been killed overnight due to rains that wreaked havoc in Hyderabad. Right now, we know that floods and heavy rains has been something that has wreaked havoc in almost all the states in India, and there needs to be a concrete solution for this, right? Before I get into the detail of the article, we know that stuff like sea floors and disaster resilient infrastructure is in the news and a lot is being done, but we need to find permanent solution to this problem, है ना? क्योंकि फ्लड्स एक ऐसी चीज़ है, एक नेचुरल डिज़ास्टर है, तो उसको हम कितनी लेवल तक मिटिगेट कर सकते हैं वो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. सो because of heavy rains that lashed across Andhra Pradesh, North Karnataka and Telangana, 16 people have been reported to have died, है ना? तो उसकी वजह से क्या हुआ है कि the government has seized of the matter and has sent NDRF teams, right? Now, what these NDRF teams do is that they are dispatched to the state governments for this assistance. You know? Now, National Disaster Response Force is essentially to help mitigate the problems that are created by natural disasters. Okay? Now, we need to understand that rains and floods are caused by cyclonic depressions that are formed in the seas. Now, in this case, this can be attributed to the cyclonic depression that has been formed over Bay of Bengal, है ना? तो क्या हुआ है कि Bay of Bengal में एक cyclonic depression बन गया था. उसकी वजह से a lot of coastal states were affected, and in fact Karnataka and Maharashtra have been put on high alert. ठीक है? Now, the cyclone in the Bay of Bengal generally forms in अप्रैल एंड अक्टूबर. ठीक है, तो अप्रैल और अक्टूबर के महीने में सबसे ज़्यादा ये जो साइक्लोनिक फॉर्मेशन होती है बे ऑफ बंगाल में, इसलिए आपने देखा होगा कि अप्रैल में बहुत सारे साइक्लोन्स आते हैं एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. ठीक है, सो वी ऑल्सो नो दैट साइक्लोन्स हैव 3 पार्ट्स, द आई, इनर एंड आउटर कोर्स, है ना? नाउ गेटिंग back to the sea flows that I was talking about. Sea flows is basically a way in which it's a flood monitoring system, है ना? तो ये flood monitoring system क्या करता है? ये सबसे पहले the first state to have implemented this was Chennai, post which even recently Mumbai decided to implement this. Now this flood management warning system helps us understand when the floods are going to take place, how to prepare for it, and so on and so forth. Another very important thing that we have to understand here is that with technology, with so much of uh, the usage of drones and so much of image satellite imaging, it is very easy now to mitigate the effects of floods. So we have to understand that floods, if they can't be stopped, what can be done is they can be mitigated. तो उसका एक permanent concrete solution हमें बहुत ज़रूरी है निकालना. ठीक है. Now, getting to the second article, which is very interesting, is that the Delhi High Court has actually given a notice to the center on same-sex couples plea. Now, क्या होता है कि हमारा जो स्पेशल मैरिज एक्ट है, हमारा जो फॉरेन मैरिज एक्ट है, वो क्या करता है, इट परमिट्स रजिस्ट्रेशन of marriages between couples of only different sexes, है ना, and it excludes those who are transgenders and same-sex couples. So क्या होता है कि अगर if some same-sex couple wants to get a registration for marriage, it is very difficult to do so under the Special Marriage Act and Foreign Marriage Act, है ना. So two couples have challenged this and have said that this is violating their Article 14 and Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. We all know that Article 14 is the equality of law and equal opportunities of law, and we know that Article 21 is the right to life and liberty. तो ये दो couple ने challenge किया है, saying that this is challenging the very important articles of the Indian Constitution, which is Article 14 and Article 21. Now, the Delhi High Court for now has adjourned the matter, seeking the centre's response. ठीक है, तो ये एक developing story है. What we need to understand is that till now only different sexes are being permitted to register under Special Marriages Act, and in this regard, this context, this article has been taken. Right? Now, getting to a very important article again is, it's actually an editorial today. It's basically about phased manufacturing policy that is hardly smart. Now, just a second. Now, MIT, Ministry of Information and Technology, has approved 16 firms in the mobile manufacturing sector for the production-linked incentive scheme to transform India into a major mobile manufacturing hub. अब हमें ये पता है कि a lot of our phones are from China, especially with Realme and Oppo. Based out of China, and then we have a lot of other companies that have set up their outlets in India and are becoming major manufacturing hubs. So what the idea of manufacturing policy, the National Manufacturing Policy 2012, aims to take the number to 25% by 2022. Now this 25% is basically the contribution of the manufacturing sector in the economy, in the GDP, है ना. तो हमें पता है कि agriculture sector accounts for about 15% of the GDP and manufacturing sector accounts to about 18 to 19% of the GDP. है ना. तो नेशनल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पॉलिसी क्या कहती है कि इट वांट्स टू टेक द नंबर टू 25% बाय 2022 टू क्रिएट 100 मिलियन जॉब्स. अब क्या है कि वी नो दैट वी एसेंशली आर एन अग्रेरियन इकोनॉमी, but also because of the manufacturing sector that is taking the forefront, and especially with Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, we need to understand is that manufacturing sector plays a key role in India's growth, right? So the editorial basically talks about the fact that this phased manufacturing policy has not yielded the benefits that it was intended to yield, but in a nutshell, what the idea is that the the manufacturing policy is very important, right? Now, another important thing that we need to know here is that Samsung has the world's largest manufacturing factory in Noida, right? And about chip manufacturing and cluster manufacturing. Now, the fact is that if India becomes a manufacturing hub, it will definitely have an edge over other countries, right? So, to explain what cluster manufacturing means is that in one area there are a lot of industries, there are a lot of manufacturing industries. So, that is essentially called cluster manufacturing. Now, if India becomes a leading manufacturing hub, it will not only give India an edge in the global platform, but it will also make India self-reliant, right? So this is the idea of the national manufacturing policy, and yes, right now the next article that we'll talk about is labor's data lost. Now we know that since the lockdown, since the Prime Minister announced the lockdown, laborers have been hit the worst. We know that there were there was a major migrants crisis wherein migrants had to walk to their hometowns and they did not have food and water in the way. It was very difficult for them to sustain themselves in the heat. तो काफ़ी बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल हो गया था माइग्रेंट्स के लिए उस फेज जहाँ इवन buses weren't operating, है ना? तो the parliament has recently passed 4 labor codes which subsumes more than 44 labor laws throughout the country. So this codifying of labor laws has been in the news since a very long time now. ये जो 44 labor laws or that have been subsumed under the four labor codes that have been subsumed under 44 labor laws is basically to help the laborers get more empowered, and it's basically for labor laws, right? Now it is expected to benefit 50 crore informal laborers, right? Now the government is saying that it does not have proper data on this and the other issues. जब गवर्नमेंट से पूछा गया ये पार्लियामेंट में, so the government said that it doesn't have any data on death caused due to the the government said it doesn't have any data on the death that was caused due to the lockdown, right? So this comment is basically on the fact that the laborers don't even have a proper database, right? Now the fact of the matter is that the laborers weren't cared for during the lockdown. Many of them lost the jobs. They weren't paid their wages on time, and they were left on their own, right? So this is a major problem in India. We need to find concrete important solutions to this, and we need to have a process in which the data is streamlined so that it makes life easy for the laborers. Okay. And also, yes, another 2-3 important things about this article is that no one's taking responsibility for that. The union government is passing the buck and blaming the states, and the states are doing the same. Now, the fact is that जब तक लॉज होना एक अलग बात है, बट जब तक वो इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं होते उन लॉज का एक्चुअली इन रियल सेंस कोई फ़ायदा ही नहीं है ना? सो इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट दैट द लॉज दैट आर मेड आर इम्प्लीमेंटेड in time so that the execution is better, right? Another very important fact here is that labor is in the concurrent list. ये हमें याद रखना है कि जो लेबर जो सब्जेक्ट है, जो हमारे 7th शेड्यूल ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में जो हमारे स्टेट कॉन्ग्रुएंट एंड जो यूनियन सब्जेक्ट्स हैं हमारे, सो लेबर इज इन द कॉन्ग्रुएंट लिस्ट. सो ये हमें याद रखना है, ठीक है? नाउ दिस आर्टिकल Cabinet approved school education reform project is important in the backdrop of the National Education Policy 2020, which was recently announced by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, which is soon going to be named the Ministry of Education, है ना? तो क्या है कि the cabinet has given its nod to extend the STARS program. Now, what is the STARS program? Strengthening teaching and learning and results for states, which is a World Bank funded program to the 6 states, which is Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, and Rajasthan. Right? Now, this is in accordance with the National Education Policy, and it seeks to improve learning outcomes and improve skills of students and make them fit to enter the labor market. Okay? So, the idea is that since a very long time, our education policies have become obsolete and there has not been a concrete development in that regard. So, national education policy is the step in the right direction if implemented well. And yes, so this is about this article. Now, the last article that we'll be talking about is the fact that the cabinet has given a nod for changes to rural women livelihood scheme. अब हमें पता है कि schemes बहुत important हो जाती हैं in the context of the paper. So we'll talk about the fact that cabinet modified certain criteria in the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Rashtriya Ajivika mission to enable women from the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh to avail the benefits. हमें पता ही है कि because of so much turmoil that the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh are facing, this is in fact an important development here, and the government has allocated about 520 crores for the next 5 years for the two territories. ठीक है, तो हमें पता है कि जम्मू एंड कश्मीर की डेवलपमेंट बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट हो जाती है, स्पेशली with the abolishing of Article 370, है ना, and about 10.58 lakh women are expected to benefit from this. So this is it's a good way to empower women, and it will come a long way in women's empowerment, right? Now the ministry that is the nodal ministry that is heading this is Ministry of Rural Development. So this is something that we have to remember, and these schemes are very important to remember. So please go through this and let me know in the comments section if you have any doubts. I will definitely reply, and do let me know if you have any doubts. All the information is given in the description below. Thank you for staying. This is all for me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Thank you.